What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Rybrary. I'm your librarian. No talking in the Rybrary. I hope you're all doing well. Today is a quick little review of What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. T. Kingfisher is a getting to be fairly prominent fantasy and horror author who largely works in the YA kind of space. And I have to say that, I definitely got that impression from reading this, that this is a person whose writing is tailored to those audiences quite a bit. Which is not to say it's bad, just that it's, shows in the writing. She has written lots of popular stuff at this point, and this is my first experience with her work. This is a novella. I don't know if, 150 pages is considered a novella to everyone, but it is to me, so I'm gonna call it a novella. This is the first in a series called The Sworn Soldier that now has two books, and I believe the third one is coming out here soon. I listened to this on audiobook, and I have to say that I didn't love the audiobook performance. It wasn't terrible or anything, but it could have been much better. The narrator was constantly enunciating every single word, and that was kind of annoying to me. But yeah, this is a horror book. It's very I've heard it referred to, and I've heard her work in general referred to as cozy horror, and I certainly understand what is meant by that after reading this. It feels more like a Gothic caper, sort of like an Agatha Christie type thing, but a little more on the horror side. This book features a non-binary protagonist, which is notable, pretty uncommon. And if it was just a non-binary protagonist, and I wouldn't really care one way or the other, but I actually really like the way that it is handled in this book. It's actually one of the things that I like about this book, spoiler, I didn't love this book. It's fine, honestly, but we'll get there. Anyway, it features a former soldier by the name of Alex Easton. It takes place in it doesn't say specifically, but it's like late 1800s. This book is sort of a take on Poe's Fall of the House of Usher. The main character, Alex Easton, is friends with the Ushers, Madeline and Roderick Usher, and fought in the war, just some vague war that they're referencing with Roderick Usher. I didn't love this aspect of the book. It feels like a distraction that was included just for the recognition of, oh, this is about the Ushers from the Fall of the House of Usher, and it just didn't add anything to the story for me. Alex Easton has received a message from Madeline Usher, being like, please come help, I'm sick and dying, and I want to see you before I die. So Easton travels to their, crumbling Gothic ancestral home of the House of Usher. This is, pretty much like every other Gothic horror house, decrepit, falling apart, moldy, all that. Fairly early on, we get a, kind of an explanation, I guess, for Easton's being non-binary. Easton was apparently born a woman, and there's references to binding their breasts and that kind of thing. But in Galatia, the country where they're from, if you become a soldier in the army, a sworn soldier in the Galatian army, you kind of don't have a male, or you stop using male and female pronouns, and you're just kind of known as a soldier. And I thought that was interesting because it plays with the idea that what defines you to other people the most doesn't need to be your gender. There's more important things that can define who you are in other people's eyes, and being a soldier is the one that is the case with Alex Easton and with Roderick Usher. They actually have their own pronouns. I don't remember what it is exactly. So I think it's a cool, way of having some non-binary representation And I thought the character of Easton was pretty good. I thought the characters in general in this were pretty good and pretty, I likable. I think Kingfisher does that well. So Easton arrives at the Usher house and it discovers that Madeline, while not dying, is certainly ill. And Roderick also seems ill, and something is certainly amiss here. And so the bulk of the story is just Easton and there's a doctor at the house and a couple other people, friends of the Ushers that are around, and trying to figure out what's going on with their illness. And they start to notice strange stuff going around on the grounds and that kind of thing. This is definitely not scary. There are some cool creepy moments, but there's like very very little in the way of actual horror in this. I wasn't really expecting there to be. I don't think this is for that audience, which is me, honestly. I think this is for people who like a little spookiness here and there, and a little yeah, some creepy stuff, but nothing too serious. As I said, I generally didn't love this book. One of the main reasons for that is that it so clearly telegraphs what's going on from the very start. I'm not going to say what is going on or anything, but like everything about this book is designed to just like be to tell you what's going to happen, and what's going to happen is not like surprising at all. It's very like the plot that you would expect, the twists that you would expect. I think one of the things that is appealing about cozy fiction is that it's not outside of what you would expect wildly, and it's not taking you on twists and turns as much. It's just stuff that you find familiar and comforting. But for me, and especially with horror, being boring is like a cardinal sin, and not surprising me is a cardinal sin, and this like doesn't surprise me in the slightest. The story also just kind of fizzles out. There isn't like a big climactic thing at the end. I won't say what book I'm referencing because not to spoil what's going on in that book if you've read this one, but this has a lot of similarities with a book I read last year, and which I also didn't love for some not exactly the same reasons, but is probably occupies the same space in terms of who's reading it. But yeah, despite all that, I think I will read the next book in the series. I will say that the main reason is because of the cozy, comforting thing. This is something that I could picture, around Halloween time, if I was in the mood for something, spooky, but also just, fun. I keep using the same word cozy over and over again, but this is a good description. Like watching Hocus Pocus or something, on Halloween time. It's not, something I would normally look for when I'm looking for horror content, but it fulfills that certain, interest when I have it, which is not super often. So yeah, that is my review of What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. Hope you enjoyed it. In the coming weeks, you can look out for a book haul video that I'm going to do for the couple vacations that I went on recently where I bought a bunch of books. And then we're going to do another monthly wrap up and TBR video at the end of the month. I'm going to try to make that a regular thing. And that's about it for right now. Thank you for watching this. I appreciate and love you all deeply. Thank you for visiting the Rybrary, and you may now talk.